In this lesson, you will learn Dutch words about traffic that you will need when you live or stay in the Netherlands. Hallo lieve vrienden. So the Dutch word for traffic is verkeer. That can be a bit of a confusing word because it is similar to verkeerd, which means wrong, but it's not without the D at the end, it's without the D, which means traffic. So there's a lot of traffic outside, er is veel verkeer buiten. So there are a lot of words for types of roads, right? So let's go by them. First, a street is een straat, de straat. And the word for road is weg. And the highway is snelweg. So I'm driving on the highway, ik rij op de snelweg. The speed limit on the highway is 130 kilometers per hour. De maximumsnelheid op de snelweg is 130 km per uur. There's also lane, that is laan, and that means it's originally like a road with trees alongside, and that is what was called laan. Then there is a path, in Dutch is pad, that can be like a non-paved path, right? But it can also be paved, and that can be a pavement for bicycles or for pedestrians, right? So for bicycles, it's called fietspad. I drive on the cycling path with my bicycle. That is, ik rij met mijn fiets op het fietspad. And there's also, for pedestrians, that is looppad. Also an alley, that is steeg. So when it's dark, I won't go into an alley. Wanneer het donker is, dan ga ik niet door een steeg. Also, another word is baan. So that is like a lane on the highway. And baan is, by the way, also work, right? As I taught you in the previous lesson. But it is also a lane on the highway. When there is a road with separate lanes, each lane is called baan. So on the highway you can have a road with 3 lanes. Op de snelweg kun je 3 banen hebben. Also, the pavement where you walk on, that is just outside of a house. It's usually right next to a street. That is stoep. That is where you walk on, right? So it's always paved. So these are all types of roads and paths in the Dutch language. In the Netherlands, we travel on the right-hand side of the road always. So if you have like a road with 2 separate directions, you always stay on the right-hand side, right? So, and you always give priority to someone who comes from the right, unless it's indicated otherwise, right? Like through a traffic light. There's also a word that can be confusing because it's a false friend. That is the word for traffic jam. That is file. So the word looks like the English word file, all right? But it's called traffic jam. So I am in a traffic jam. That is, ik sta in een file. I was a bit late today because I was in the traffic jam. Ik was een beetje laat vandaag, want ik stond in een file. Or there is a traffic jam between The Hague and Utrecht. Er is een file tussen Den Haag en Utrecht. So a traffic light is verkeerslicht. And a crossroads or intersection is called een kruispunt. Or also called een kruising. A roundabout is called een rotonde. And also very nice to know, if you're not familiar with staying in the Netherlands and traveling yourself, is that the traffic looks so very organized, right? So that is what visitors usually notice, is that it's also organized, it's so quiet, people hardly honk any horns. Only when it's absolutely necessary, right? When there's almost a collision, then you can hear like a honking horn. But usually just when people are just driving and even in busy places, you will not hear any car horns honking. So that's really nice and really quiet and structured, right? So the Dutch are usually very disciplined also in traffic. And in the Netherlands, you will also notice that if there is a detour, the organization of the detour is always very, very good. So if maybe they're working on a piece of the road and you have to take a detour, they will always very, very nicely give you directions with traffic signs. That is met de verkeersborden. They will always lead you in the right direction for the detour and always give you the alternatives for the different destinations that you can have, right? So that is something that's really nice in the Netherlands, and you will notice it immediately. And if you have experiences traveling in the Netherlands by yourself, by car, by cycle, or maybe just walking around, share them with us in the comments below. If you have something to ask or to add, also please leave a comment. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe so I can continue bringing you this content. All right, thank you, and I'll see you in the next lesson.